You may have your weapon back. Of course you can't. As formidable as you may be, you yet remain an incomplete monarch. So is this where it all ends for you, human?
I suppose you'll miss the grand spectacle then. We will build mountains of human corpse, and from your blood we shall create scarlet rivers.
But I'll make an exception for your homeland.
Yes, mortal. Unleash your eternal hatred for me in your death, for that too shall give me immense pleasure. I can still do this.
Are you the king of dead? If you wanted to, you could live in this world for eternity. It would be like never waking up from the most wonderful dream.
Are you telling me to be trapped within this illusion you have created?
I created this world? No, I did not create this world. You are responsible for its creation.
It's a world created by combining your desire to correct your mistakes up until now together with my power.
In other words, this is my territory.
This is the eternal rest.
Death.
I have been watching you for far longer than you could possibly imagine. You, who had always been closer to death than anyone else, yet so desperately resisted against it.
I am the record of your struggles, the evidence of your resistance, and the reward of your sufferings.
Yue, and within my territory, you are able to do anything you want. You are able to turn my servants into yours, and absorb my power from them.
Although it's only possible within your own territory, the power to create, destroy, and chance the world
Is an omnipotent power. Are you saying that you and I possess the same power?
I've been waiting for the day we finally meet for a very long time now. I'm Shadow Monarch, the king of the dead, who rules over the power of death and the administrator of the deepest part of darkness.
Why was I chosen?
I shall show you our beginning and end, and also your beginning.
He's dead for sure.
Hey, Hunter Sung's presence disappeared just now.
What just happened?
That's
impossible. So now there isn't anyone who can stop those magical beasts. Damn it. I shouldn't have listened to that person earlier. Maybe we could stop them if we bombard them. Right now.
No, we must stop them. Now that even the national-level hunters have failed to subdue them, there is no going back. Our target is that magical beast who looks like a white walker.
How is possible? Don't tell me.
No, we can't let this happen.
We must stop the true king from descending after the fake king has died.
From here on.
None shall touch this child. In another world, light and darkness existed in an age where everything else had yet to exist.
The Absolute Being split the light and created the emissaries of God, and split darkness to create the 8 Sovereigns. The Sovereigns who were born to destroy the world, and the emissaries who were born to maintain the world continuously killed each other's soldiers. Fatigued by the constant and unending war, the brightest fragment of the brilliant light asked the Absolute Being,
Oh, our absolute ruler, why do thee not aid thy most faithful subjects fighting in thy honor? Why do thee ignore the screams of the countless soldiers dying for thy honor? Please lend us the strength to extinguish our opponents. We shall cut their heads and offer them as a tribute to thy glory. But the Absolute Being did not reply back to the fragment.
and at that moment the fragments of brilliant light realized. To the Absolute Being, the battle between themselves and the Sovereigns is nothing more than a form of entertainment, and that the ruler does not wish for the war to end. Everyone worshipped the Absolute Being. Praised the God. Everyone let out oaths of war for the Absolute Being. Prove your piety. Everyone pledged their allegiance with their blood and lives to the Absolute Being. They have been abiding by the law until now, but there were overwhelmingly more of those who fell victim to death than those who overcame it. Even if they abide by the law, only death awaits them.
As long as the Absolute Being
exists, the war will never end.
And to end this meaningless war, they unsheathed their blades. It was the start of the rebellion. That is me of the distant past.
I was the sole emissary of God who stood up against the rebellion of the other emissaries. But my pitiful number of soldiers powerlessly fell before the united armies of the emissaries, and I thought it was the end. But when I reopened my eyes within the darkness,
I realized that my absolute being had hidden a certain power inside me. Arise. And I led my new army to the battlefront. However,
when I returned, everything was already over. The rulers used everything they had in order to save this world, but the current Earth was way too weak to fight against the monarchs. And the Earth, where no magical energy resided, could not endure the mass-scale battles. Whether the monarchs or the rulers won the battle, the impact brought upon this planet would remain the same. Thus, the rulers made a drastic decision. If they can't save everyone, they wanted to make sure that at least some would survive, so those people could continue on in this world. So that's how hunters were created.
They were making human beings capable of surviving the collusion between the two forces. The rules wanted the humans to survive, no matter what they had to do. Those that could survive in the changed world. If they realize the fact that with the exception of the small number of people who are hunters, everyone must die. Could society really operate normally? The Demon King is a fragment of memories left behind by the Shadow Monarch.
So this world has already gone through countless annihilations.
Indeed, although the higher being are not able to go against the flow of time, they are able to perceive the change in the flow of time created by the cup of reincarnation, while the rules tried to fix their mistakes several times. The sovereigns also began modifying their plan continuously until the tool of God couldn't be used anymore.
Hold up, are you telling me that there is a limit to the cup of reincarnation?
There is no such thing as infinite power. Just like how the absolute being, who was capable of creating worlds, was eliminated by his own creations. There is a limit to every power.
So how were the creations able to kill their creator?
It's no different to humans dying from machines they had created. We were created to fight, and our powers were more than enough to bring down our own creator. Then the sovereigns utilized the rulers' methods to create a plan of their own, similar to how rulers lent power to humans so they can kill magical beasts, thus strengthening the world. Sovereigns would also borrow a human's body to descend onto the world and bring their armies far eerier than the expectations of the rulers.
They planned to use the magical energy that was spread around the planet by the rulers to turn the entirety of Earth into one large trap.
So that they could devour the rulers' armies coming to aid humanity in one go.
Precisely.
For a sovereign who possesses incredible power to cross over into this world, they need a host body who is able to handle their power. But because me and the Monarch of Destruction possess powers too great, we could not find humans who are suitable to be our hosts. At that time, one of the most capable mages working under a king came to me with a proposal. They were willing to find me a suitable human. That mage, called the Architect, asserted that they would give me assistance, but only for an imperishable body in return. And even in the opposition of the Architect, I picked you. But in the midst of his scavenging, he found someone who bested his system, someone who wrote the rules of his game and exceeded his expectations. But unfortunately, no living thing could become a vessel to contain death. The architect, with the system he had designed, searched high and low for one talented in sensing magic power, one with prodigal physical power, one with superiority, one with great mentality. The architect searched for a human whose strength would meet my powers. The search was not an easy one. You, who was always weak, always closest to death, and yet evaded death again and again. I waft you.
I shall say it once more. I am the record of your struggles, the evidence of your resistance, and the reward of your pain.
Even though I had exceeded the architect's expectations, I must not have been enough to be able to handle your power.
The architect used objects of human skill and human preference to adjust to my strength. Games and recreation. By using those to fuel your amusement, the architect's system, which used my power, transformed your body, level by level, to match mine.
So there was a reason why the system had an analogous appearance to a game, especially with the player aspects of it. But you betrayed the architect.
Shadow Monarch, how could you? Do you really believe that the other monarchs will sit by and watch?
Why?
The ruler's apology, the betrayal of the monarchs, I pondered on which side I should stand on. I made a decision, and I wanted it to be that way. The time I spent with you was so busful. Perhaps I did not want to lost you. I became you. You became me. No matter who becomes the owner of this body, it will not be strange.
For we are already one. Therefore, I will offer you a choice. You could stay in this domain of death and enjoy the eternal dreams you've created for yourself. You could choose to rest.
If that is not your choice, you will be sent to reality once more. You will have to fight your adversaries.
You said you had made your decision, but you did not stand with the leaders. So why did you escape to the other world with the monarchs, even though your will to fight the rulers had long dissipated? My answer is the same. This is not a place where I should be.
It was because that place did not offer a place for me.
Is this the last time I will be seeing you?
I will return to rest, but you, the Shadow Monarch, will live an imperishable life. Thus, the crossing of our paths is quite unukely. With death, your power has become absolute. The way to go back is...
I know.
Because I am you.